Well, police authorities have met with community leaders in the West Rand and members of the local municipality to discuss the issues they are facing and the way forward. That's following some violent outbreaks and clashes with police as community members say they are fed up of illegal miners in their communities. For the latest, we go to that area in Kagiso. We find our reporter Ngobile Mahlala. Ngobile, we spoke to you a little bit earlier on. You were in West Village where we saw a house that the community had entered a house and set the house alight. Are you still there? What's going on around you?
Well, we still are in West Village, but of course, most of the houses around here that they feel that the illegal Zama live in have now been burnt. So this is some of the stuff that they have burnt, just taking it out of. Yeah. Now, some of the houses are also South African owned, and they're saying that because the South Africans are renting it out, they don't want that to happen. So they've brought all their assets and they put it here and then they've burnt it. What you see on the far end is the police. They're just going into the teams. Something in there. But before we follow the police, I want to actually speak to some of the people that live in the area just to hear how they feel about what they're currently seeing happening here. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time. We just want to understand, I mean, we are seeing a fire here and we've seen quite a lot of community members going from one house to another, just looking at where these illegal miners could potentially be. How do you feel about what's happening?
Okay, we don't feel happy. Obviously, we're not happy with what's happening, all right? We've been under direct attack from the Zamazamas. So if our people now and the community are now feeling get rid of these people themselves, because of what's happening in other areas now, it's now egged them on to do this. That's why they're doing it. And I don't feel anything for people's stuff that's burnt. I just hope it is a Zamazamas and not somebody that is working and now has had his stuff burnt. But the thing is that we live under constant fear. We don't come out of our yards. We're stuck. It's only now the community has had enough. We've all had enough because nothing is being done for us. Nothing. So, yes.
What's been happening in this community, ma'am?
Okay, 3 years ago, I can tell you my own experiences. 3 years ago, they came, my son came home late. They shot at him inside my yard. Luckily he tripped and he fell and the bullets went over his head. He left his phone, everything was on the floor. They didn't take it, but they were shooting at us. They chased him right into my house. Luckily he could close the door so they couldn't get in, and he was screaming for us. When we came out, they ran. 2 years, a year later, to the date, a year later, they broke into my house again. 3 of these Zamazamas. They beat my husband up with a crowbar. They hit my son with a crowbar. They stole stuff out of our house. My husband and my son were in hospital for 7 days. Still to this day, my son's face hasn't come right. The way they hit him in the face with a crowbar.
All right, I want to bring in your husband to speak to us. Yes, so we have spoken to you. I remember you telling us the story about how they hurt you. How do you feel now that the community is deciding that they burn these things and they try to find these mining holes where they say these illegal Zamazamas could potentially be at?
I want them to find it. If I felt safe, I'd take them there, because I know quite a few of them. But I'm too scared to take you there, because if I take you there, then they'll see it on TV, and then I'm mocked, and then they go after me. They'll figure me out, and then I've had it. But now with they're going in crowds, they can't identify 20 people. But I can tell them where it is. If I can get in there with TV or wherever and say, there's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole, and know my safety is all right.
Does this help the community in any way, though?
Yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
If we close those holes, the Zamazamas have got nowhere to go. Now, what's happening all the way around? They got holes in the ground, block them up. Even if there's people in there, close it up.
They shouldn't be in there. They shouldn't be in there. There's not a house in this street that hasn't been attacked. Not one house. Our lady up the road here, it's C13, she actually was dragged from her car, going out Her husband closed the gate. They opened her car. They dragged her out. 10 people dragged this woman across the road into the bush. Luckily, he came round and he got back in his car and he chased them with the car, and they left her.
Right.
But you know what? There's not one person. This poor shop, they robbed this shop, emptied it, shot at the guy that's working in there. No, this has happened because of sheer frustration from the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Well, what you hear, the story of community members, things that they have gone through because or illegal. So these are some of the things that this lady is speaking about, being burnt by the community, just saying that because of sheer frustration, this is what the community has resorted to. And of course, they continue to look for those holes. We can see some of the community members also just there's a lot more that have gone forward with the police. We will be following them just to see what is it that they will find that side.
All right, thank you so much. That's our reporter, Ngobile Mahlala, who's on the ground in the West Rand. You heard some of those harrowing stories from some of the community members in that area. As we keep following, what's going on the ground. Earlier on, we heard the community and the police come out together and, I suppose, map a way forward. We'll speak to Ngobile a little bit later on here on ENCA. Let's move on for now. An ex-fugitive and convicted murderer, Gerardus Janssen van